Top of the sun, YouTube. It's your girl Euphoria tapping in with today's Are You Truly Healing or Masking in the Evolution of a Starseed series. Today is day 221. I want to thank you all for joining me, helping me get closer and closer to 1,000 subscribers so I can start monetizing this channel. The end goal is, well, not the end goal, but the ultimate goal is 10K subscribers. But any assistance that you guys give me up until then, getting to 1K, is greatly appreciated, because without you guys, who would I be talking to besides myself? So thank you all for joining in and tapping in with the fun and making this a pleasure and a blessing to be able to do. So let's get straight into it. Are you truly healing or masking? The topic today is it's time to start doing exactly what you want to do. Ooh, I gotta use the bathroom again. Oh man. Hold on, you guys. Yeah, I thought I was gonna be able to start, but I really gotta use the bathroom. Why has that been happening a lot lately? Like, as soon as I get on camera, I gotta pee real bad. All right, let's see. Ooh. Oh, uh-oh. Hold on. I did that wrong. Hold on 1 second, y'all. I gotta find a new way to put y'all up because of the fact that my holster just cracked. What's up, love? Let's see if this will hold. It used to. I don't know if it will again. Uh-oh. My tripod just cracked. Okay. That should suffice. Okay. So we're back. Let me go ahead and get to the bathroom. But yes, today's, what is that? I'll just put y'all up the best way I knew how. Don't worry about it. So today's subject is, it's time to start doing exactly what you want to on a soul level. So a lot of us, we are trying to do what it is we want to do, but we're not doing what it is that our soul wants to do, right? For instance, a lot of us have jobs that we like. You know, I've been doing hair for 10 years, 14 years, so doing hair is a blessing. I love it. However, it's not what my soul wants to do. My soul really enjoys speaking to you guys, sharing my knowledge, sharing wisdom, and helping the collective really elevate and getting paid to do exactly what it is that we want to do every single day versus trying to do, you know, someone else told us was cool or following somebody else's footsteps. About, I mean, like, genuinely, like, just doing something that someone else does. Like, a lot of us, like, oh, my mom, right? Or like, my dad was a lawyer, so I gotta be a lawyer. Versus, like, when I grew up, I saw people disenfranchised because their rights were violated and they didn't know their rights. So now I want to be a lawyer because passionately something in me wants to help people fight against the system so that they could, you know, have their rights be seen, heard, loved, and valued, right? That's the difference between being passionate about being a lawyer versus just doing it because daddy did it. So in this episode, we're talking about it's time to truly do what you want to do based on your soul. A lot of us are just doing things just because it helps us pass time. somebody else showed us that it was easy, and things of the sort. So, how do you know what it is that your soul wants to do? Well, one exercise that I've always taken part of is reminding myself what I used to like to do when I was a kid. So, like, before I got all into, trying to impress anybody else or do things for anybody else, or really looking up to any celebrity role models, because I really wasn't into watching TV like that. Back when I was 7 is the age where you usually your mind stops maturing and you're like pretty much conditioned for the rest of your life. Like, they get everything into your brain by the age of 7, right? I'll look at the comments as soon as I stop the car. But they get everything into your brain around the age of 7, and when they do that, or rather, when you go and look back at what you used to do at the age of 7, can anyone in the chat even remind me or tell me what they used to do at the age of 7? Pull over? No, I can't pull over. I gotta use the bathroom. I'm on a beltway. So, if you can't really tell me what you used to do when you were at the age of 7, 9 times out of 10, you aren't doing what your soul wants to do. What the fuck? Is this my seatbelt? The light's not even popping up on the dash. So 9 times out of 10, if you can't tell me what you used to do at the age of 7, then 9 times out of 10 you don't know exactly what your soul wants to do. Nothing wrong with that. However, like I said again, if you don't understand yourself on that level, you're going to be a disenfranchisement to the collective around you. And this is why this is so important. See, people who aren't moving in their soul's purpose, they usually walk around with a chip on their shoulders. They usually walk around a little bit negative. And because of that, they end up being a parasite to some degree to the collective around them, because they're doing what they don't like to do. Right? So if you don't like your job, say you work at McDonald's or you work at a bar, and you don't really like being around people, you're not a people person. Well, now you have the issue of being rude to customers. You're forcing something upon yourself that you really don't want to do. Right? Someone says, I do what I want. That's good. I'm glad that you do. That's a blessing. But again, if you're working a job, because we all have to work, right? Because until the world finally realizes that we can go back to the barter system and trading goods for time and all that stuff, whenever that decides to really happen, until then, you're going to be working for money. You're going to be trading something for money, your knowledge for money, your time for money, or your what's the other one? Your knowledge, your time, or your energy, which is the same, it's a combination of both, your velocity, like Newton's second law, speed and direction times distance equals velocity. Anyway, so until the society gets back to the barter system, you're going to be trading what you are, what you have, your resources for money. So again, if you're doing something that you don't even really want to do, when you have to trade that resource, yourself, your time, your whatever, for money, you're going to be a disservice to everyone around you. Basically, everyone around you is going to be like, oh my God, I can't stand this person, and it's going to be because you're doing something outside of your realm, outside of your pocket, outside of your capabilities, outside of what you're meant to do. See, police officers, a lot of them are meant to police people, so it makes sense for them to police people, right? That's their job. They like to be in control. They like to see what's going on. They like to snoop around, use their third eye to, run the room. So it makes sense for them to be the police. Why is Montgomery County Police in PG County? I don't know. I'm on my business. But if they like to be nosy and they like to over-police people, that would make sense for them to be police officers. But someone who really is just really kind and really docile, it makes no sense for them to be police, because what the heck, how you going to do your job? You going to feel bad about giving somebody a ticket every 5 seconds. You're going to see a dog in a car, be like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't want to give you a ticket because you have to hurry up and get your dog to the bathroom. Oh, I'm so sorry, you have kids in the car. I can't give you a ticket because you were speeding, going 80 miles per hour and a 50. I'm sorry, I can't do that, because you're not going to be able to get your job done. You're going to be a problem to the society pledged allegiance to. So with that being said, you have to work within your realm of existence. So if you're more of a cosmic baddie and you all into your spiritual side and you outside 24/7, 365, you need a job that conduces to being outside. So that means you either need to be a tarot reader, you need to be some kind of spiritual coach, you need to be some kind of spiritual bodybuilder, spiritual cosmic being. Because if you always outside and you can see people when you outside, then you need to get a job conducive to that. Because if you're outside, look, I'm a hair salon, I'm a hairstylist, right? And the hair salons that I work at, it's not conducive to being outside, because they want you to close your eyes and not see nothing, so that they can do what they need to do in their little circus ring, right? So being outside and being aware is not good in that particular setting, right? Versus when I was when I was security before COVID had came, it made sense to be outside, but I wasn't outside back then. I was outside to a degree where I would have a dream about what's going to happen tomorrow. Like, I would always dream about the next day, because I always listened to binaural frequencies while I was asleep. So like my brain always like was clean and clear on a frequency. I still have that playlist on my YouTube channel. If you guys want to listen to that playlist, y'all can go ahead and click that. Let's see. Oh shit, the light's green. Oh my God, y'all gonna give me a ticket. I do what I want, pull over, listen to music and ride up and down on my bike. I don't feel comfortable around people, honestly. A lot of people don't nowadays, because some people just got bad intentions all the time. Because you're hyper defensive, you feel weird around people who are just completely outside and just open. Some people, they canoodle in everybody's damn box. I'd be like, that's nasty. But to them, that's the recipe. What's up, Aditi? Adi. Okay, yeah, but sometimes they beat you up for no reason, or maybe because something in the past. Because I be paranoid. Yeah, because everybody else, just if you paranoid, then your reality is paranoid. Because when you finally get to a certain level in your spiritual journey, you'll understand that everything is a reflection of you. So if you're outside and you're paranoid, then that means the vibe is going to change, because you are an influencer. Depending on, especially what your human design chart is, you're going to influence the vibe around you to be paranoid. So now everybody's paranoid. Not that that's something you need to work on. It's just, I mean, it is. If you don't want people around you to beat you up and be paranoid, then you got to train your mind to not be paranoid. You know, you got to train your mind to not be paranoid. That makes sense. So moving past that, now that we've established that, okay, 9 times out of 10, we're probably only paranoid because of things that have happened in the past, etc., etc. Why did I come this way when work is the other way? I should have just went to my grandmother's house. Excuse me. Sorry, y'all. Some people's paranoia is psychologically influenced. For sure. I would say, for instance, me, my paranoia definitely was psychologically influenced, because people around me would intentionally do things to me because they realize where my intellect level is at. So they do things intentionally to pull me back down because it's like it's harder to enjoy life when you become intellectual. That's why they try to keep us down here in sacred sexual land where everything is just a vibe and everything's sexual. Because when you start coming up to your consciousness level up here and you start analyzing life for what it is, you become more serious. That's why older people are serious and young people don't take life seriously. They're not supposed to take life seriously because they are the ones that are keeping everything fun. They have to stay down there. Now, a lot of people who are older, who are intelligent, do tend to keep fun down there because it lets them not have to take life so seriously. But they still have to pay the repercussions, even though just because the way that spirituality works, your mind is still responsible for how spiritually intellectual you are. Because even if you don't admit it to everyone around you, when you go behind them closed doors at night, you're still accountable for how your mind thinks. Like, you're still going to be held accountable for how your mind operates. Some people paranoid. Okay, that's I read that already. What does it say? Not me. Something actually happened to me. Yeah, you were psychologically influenced, and it's okay. I mean, something happened to me too. Something happened to all of us at this point in time where we're at in this late and great age. If you're 30, if you're 32, 33, however old you are, something's happened to everybody by this point in time. That's the whole thing. Everyone has had something happen. That's why everybody walking around halfway paranoid, halfway defensive, halfway because either they had a dream, a spiritual awakening, or something very, very, very bad has happened again. And then just because you had one spiritual awakening doesn't mean you're not gonna have more and more. I really want to go to my mom's house, but I really don't actually. I can't believe I just drove all the way over here. I really don't want to go over there. I don't. I really don't. Look at the moon over there, looking all full and big. I don't want to go over there. I'm actually not going to go. I'm actually going to just go back to my grandmother's house. When I just hear somebody say, what? I can hear again. Crap. Yeah, I don't want to go in there right now. But I know my son's going to call me. Can you come get me, take me to my friend's house? Well, I can come take you right now to your grandma's house and you can go to your friend's house while I'm at work on my lunch break. Ooh. Let me go use the bathroom across the street. And then we'll sort this out individually. She said, take your time, what's the rush? See, baby, I'm a dog. Is this car parked like this? Nowhere near the curb. Oh, goodness. So, you see, like, something happened to me at my mom's house. So, when I walk up to my mom's house or drive up to it, like, even though I really got to use the bathroom and I don't feel comfortable, like, I don't even know the code to the door no more. Ever since our little spat that we had, she changed the lock on the door, the code to the door, so I can't even walk in there. But my son lives there, so it's like to imagine like how that paradigm lived. Like where my son lives, I don't even have free access to go in there to go tap him and wake him up in the morning. That can psychologically impair someone to really just become defensive against the work. It's like, dang, I can't even have access to my own kid when I want to from people who I grew up with. It's like it just. Ooh, sorry, hold on, yeah, I pee. 1 second. All right, I'm back. Gotta knock a gang of times so she lets you right in. I don't know. I'm not about to go find out. I don't really care to find out, honestly. Because there'll be times where she'll open the door. There'll be times where I'm like, every full moon, it's like, it's a problem. So I don't really like being around my family during full moons because I'm like, I don't know what y'all planning, what y'all concocting. Now that I know that people is like top tier, superior witches to the entire neighborhood, like I understand they lock in level with their community. It's like, I ain't fucking with y'all during no full moons. Niggas almost like, oh, how you feel? Nah, nigga, I know who is what and what is who and who's saying what and who's doing what and who's pulling whose strings. Like, I don't fuck around with y'all like that. Even when I lived here, like, I would always feel like my fucking feet and my body was getting electrocuted living here. I could never stand it. It would feel like it's like random shocks would be going through my feet, through my nervous system. I'm just like, what the fuck is that? But it only happened here. Like when I started living in the car by myself, I didn't feel like that. Even with the last dude I talked to, I would not feel like that. So I'm like, it's something about this area, which I did notice when I was Grubhubbing and door dashing. Certain neighborhoods, they have like frequency emitters. Like you go through the neighborhood, if you're at a certain level of frequency or freedom, I could pass by mailboxes. Like I would drive past people's houses and the mailboxes, I would hear like ping 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 ping, and the frequency would distort you, right? Like how this person, I just drove up and they just did that. Like it made me open, like it made me like lean forward and open up like my sacral chakra. People know how to manipulate energy or how to attract attention to them. And for me, the woman that I am, I'm like, I don't have to share nothing with you. That's not my job. Like, I'm here to bless the people I'm here to bless, but like the whole all day, every day, I don't know if that makes sense for me because what are y'all gonna pay back forward towards me? Now, I do know for me personally, I also know that my energy can be seen as a healing source of energy, right? A very healing source of energy. So for me personally, hold on, y'all. Let me call my son and make. Okay, we got a few more hours before I gotta go, so I'll stay here for a little bit. But oh dang. Needless to say, what I'm getting at here is this. One should definitely want to hold on, put my blankie back on. Get cozy on the side of the road while I finish this video with y'all. One's goal should be, he said, wait, why? Wait, why what? Why they have signal blockers? They had the signal blockers on everyone in the neighborhood because they wanted to control the frequency. Like they want people locked into a frequency grid. The whole entire existence of us being here is locking us into a frequency grid where we really think that like time is still moving forward. Like we're literally already in the eternal now. We've been here since COVID, but it destructures and devalues commercial America, so they had to keep us in these boxes. Look at the camera, open your mouth. I'm almost finished. So again, when I was doing Grubhub, I would notice this. Like when I would listen to certain music that would tune my frequency to certain locations and certain like consciousness levels, I would hear these little teen, 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 teen. Every time I pass by a different mailbox, teen, 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 teen. It's like, yo, because I used to hear it a lot when I was younger because my ears always could hear like different little pitches and stuff. I have a very sensitive ear my whole life. Excuse me. So I'm simple man, so I guess I live in a box. We all technically live in a box, whatever we've built in our minds to be our reality. That's why I said right now is the time for everyone to figure out what their soul wants to do. You might not realize what to do right this second because you don't have the money to do it or the time, you might think, or something of the sort, but it behooves you at this point in time right now to really find something that gets you aligned with your soul. Whether that be a person, people, places, things, jobs, neighborhoods, location, wherever you show up on the map. Some people, we live in areas where we're not even comfortable living. Like, a lot of us live in areas where, excuse me, we're not valued, we're not appreciated, we're not seen as a whole human, we're seen as just a source of energy, just a bubble of you know, air or someone else's source of energy. We're just seen as like, I feel comfortable where I live. And I'm not negating that you do. I'm just saying for this particular topic, this is obviously not just about you, Mr. Sea Rocket. But a lot of us are in locations like a lot of us live in places where we don't even belong living at. You understand? Like a lot of us are really at places where we don't even belong living. And we don't realize that. We think that like we're thinking that because we grew up somewhere, we're supposed to be there. Like, oh, you gotta stay around your hometown. You gotta stay around your home city. Not realizing when you move to a whole nother state, you might get the chance to live a whole nother life, right? So when you get the chance to live this whole brand new life, brand new light, whatever you have, whatever have you, you then also get this opportunity to shift the way that you think. Now, if you can spiritually see like me, excuse me, it's not as easy to just go outside and just be outside and be like, yay, woohoo, woohoo, life is great. Because it's like, I can see what's being done to me and others around me collectively, intentionally, over and over and over and over and over again. Like, to really be able to see, like, off some Freaky Friday stuff, right? I ain't never been out of Los Angeles County. Hey girl, what's up, Yon She Hive. Yonsei Hive. Um, for instance, I've lived in Silver Spring, Maryland most of my life. I grew up in DC though, because my dad lived in DC and all my grandparents live in DC, except for my one grandma, my mom's mom. She lives in Maryland. So she lives in Maryland. I grew up at her house on and off in other apartments and homes. And my dad lives in DC. Excuse me. So with that being said, I had a balance between those two areas, right? However, I still have this urge to move other places. Like when I went to go look in Atlanta, what's up, love? When I went to go look at houses or apartments in Atlanta, I felt like I was going to have so much fun there. Like I felt like it was clicking. So when my mom did what she did this past summer and was like, okay, I'm taking custody of your son, right when I'm about to move out of the state, I just was like, why would you do that? Like, let me move. She's like, just leave him here while you get set up. And it's like, I would love to do that, but I had a dream that if I left my son, he'd end up in a hospital. I don't feel comfortable. See, now I gotta go ahead and silence you because let me not do that. We're taking big bites out of this sandwich called life. Mm, don't even say it's big bites out of the sandwich of life. Just say it's like everybody's taking their chances because we're all technically just vibrational cells, just trying to figure out which pathway we want to go on before we, right? Excuse me. So that's why it's so important for during this time, people start to figure out exactly what it is they want to do. Like, what do you on a spiritual soul level want to do with your life? If you want to talk on that platform on the internet all day, then consistently do it. That's why every day I come here, I make sure that I come here and talk to you guys, whether I feel like it or not, because I genuinely enjoy talking to people and sharing knowledge with people and seeing what other people have to say. Like, I genuinely appreciate doing that, right? Whereas your average American probably doesn't want to be seen, doesn't want to be heard, is scared of people, paranoid, in a box. I genuinely enjoy sharing what I've learned the day before. Like, for instance, the day before I was at work and my coworkers, they were kind of like, I don't know, I felt like I was pushed out of the bubble because when it started getting busy, they were like, "Oh yeah, this client is for me and her." Now I'm like, "Oh, okay," because I had stepped out for a little bit and I went on my lunch break early because I didn't eat my lunch and I was feeling really like woozy. I'm like, "Why do I feel like this? Like I don't usually feel like this." So I was like, "Let me go ahead and sit out for like an hour or so." And I drove up the street, went to a neighborhood, and just sat down for a little bit and watched a video or two. And I started feeling my solar plexus go off real bad. I'm like, "What the hell?" So when that happened, I started looking around like, ain't no way, bruh. Ain't no way. Right? Like, ain't no way. But then I started seeing, like, way. Like, that's literally what was happening. Like, what I was seeing with my spiritual eyes. I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. So I come back to the shop and, they're kind of like looking at me like, and I was like, all right, well, whatever energy I did, I guess, attract here. Y'all, I'm sharing with y'all, like, whatever. Then it started feeling like the same thing there. It started feeling like somebody was rolling the damn wheel up my side. It felt like my whole side was in pain. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Now, all this happened after me falling asleep at my mom's house on the Lionsgate portal, which I didn't realize I did. I probably shouldn't have done that, honestly. I probably should have just stayed in my car and took my son to go see his friends. But my son was like pressuring me to stay in the house with him. And I'm like, dude, just come on and let's go. Like, outside. You want to be outside with your friends, go outside with your friends. Like, I don't mind being outside. Like, I don't want to be in here. And have you mind, Lionsgate Portal was my stepdad's birthday, so I really didn't want to be in the house with him. Especially because when he pulled up, I started feeling all kind of pain in my body. I'm like, absolutely not. Absolutely the F not. Like, ugh. It just felt gross. Because I had my off days and I'm like, spending time alone. So I'm like, and getting around somebody else who's been at work all day. You know, I'm not your wife, so it's not my job to spiritually clean you off, right? But a woman's job as a spiritual leader or practicer is to clean off your husband spiritually, like clean off his spiritual, wash his feet spiritually, keep him spiritually hygienic, stuff of the sort. Have you seen an experienced source? Yeah, that was about maybe 2 years ago. It's like all is one and it turned pink. I'm like, dang, did I just go inside of a vagina and get reborn? I'll start seeing all these people that I knew. It's like all is one, all is one, all is one. And I woke up, I was like, my son, he ran into my room. He's like, Mom. I was like, what? He's like, I was like, what's wrong? He said, everything sucks. I'm like, what's going on? I didn't know what was going on. I still to this day don't know what he saw or how he experienced it on his end, or if he was asleep when it happened, or if he was awake when it happened, or what. But that was all after me throwing an event or throwing a show. And then the people who were at the show wanted to throw another show with me, and that's how I met the guy that I just recently talked to. So something in that transitional period right there, you know. But yeah, there was that version, and there was a time where I actually I was doing Kundalini breath work And I fell to my knees after doing it. Like I was doing it, and all I remember is being like, I don't know if I woke up or what was going on, but I was like on my hands and knees, and I was like shaking. And it seemed like I was talking in a language I'd never spoken in before. And it's like I saw a clear, gelatinous, plasmic looking figure in the corner of my kitchen. I'm like, what the hell? And I had seen something like that before, but it was on top of my son one time when I was talking to my friend on the phone. And I heard something moving in my room. I'm like, what the hell is that? And then I go over to the next to the light, and it's like I felt like I couldn't move. And like I started trying to look at my son, and I started seeing that same thing on him. And then right when I finally turned around, the light in my room fell down, and my whole room went dark. And I like jumped on top of my son, like, oh my God, no, 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 no. What the hell was that? And then all of a sudden, my friend started talking on the phone again. So I'm like, now based on what I know about spirits and energy, I'm like, were you sending your spirit over there to attack my son? Like, were you astral projecting to my child? Like, and then there was a time when she came to my house and my pictures started falling off my wall. So certain people, I got certain reservations about, for sure. Certain people I definitely have certain reservations about. Excuse me. So, yeah. I've experienced different versions of source. I've even seen like dark figures at one point in time. When I lived with my mom, I'm like, why do I see dark figures running around the house? Like, this is weird. So I've seen the figures of the light and the figures that are shadows. I've seen people's auras. I could see like the aura around people when they talk. I could see that even in videos and pictures sometimes. Also, in real life, just watching them. And I've been doing that since I worked at the museum. So I've been very much energetically attuned my entire life. Even when I was a baby, I used to sit in the room and I would cry. My mom said she'd put me down to go to sleep, and I'd just wake up and be like, the lady, the lady, the lady. And just be crying, bawling bad. Now, funny thing about that lady, right? The lady had a head wrap on that was white, and she had her baby tied to her back. The lady now resembles, to me, Erykah Badu and myself. So maybe it was me as a child being afraid of who I'm going to be in the future. Something of the sort, something to that extent, something of that nature, maybe. But I just remember I would howl and scream like, the lady, the lady, the lady. So spirituality really isn't something that's new to me. A lot of people are like, oh, you on that spiritual stuff, that's weird. You didn't become spiritual until you met this guy, until you had a spiritual awakening. It's like, I've been spiritual my entire life, but I never acted upon it with knowledge and with like connection to it. Sometimes some folks have a dark cloud aura around them. I can see, I try to steer clear of them folks. Don't want that energy. I agree. I've seen that around people as well. And it's funny that you say that. When I was around the darkest people, I feel like my intuition was being blocked, so I couldn't see it. Because I usually was always able to see the auras around people. Like I said, when COVID had happened, I was seeing auras. And people would come over. The people who had the dark aura, they'd come over. Do you know the bathroom is? And I'm like, I'm new to this museum. I haven't worked here. This is my first day. How are you a security officer? You don't know the bathroom is. Like, those people would have dark auras versus the people who had like rainbow auras, clear auras. Like yesterday, I had a aura around my head. Like I would look down at the black cement where I was at, but I would see a rainbow around my head, like a big orb rainbow around my head. So it was very strange for me in that aspect. I feel bad for them too, but they have to fix themselves. Learned lesson for sure. Are you afraid to walk the path? What is the path to you? Let me ask you what the path is, because that's what I'm saying today. We have to start doing what our souls require us to do. Like, as much as we don't want to necessarily leave our good job or, stop doing what we're doing every day, it's time for us to start walking ourselves. Chromatic aura. Yeah, it was rainbow. It was the coolest thing. It was like to see like a bubble around my head, but I'm looking at the ground. Like I'm looking at the black cement, like the black road. And I'm seeing this around my head. And I was like, I thought I was tripping, but I saw it in two different locations and they weren't paved the same. Like, you know how maybe the pavement had a little crystalline around it? but it was around my head. So I would think that, if it was something else, like it would be around something else. But that's what I saw yesterday, which is why I really wanted to get my son and have him outside and get in the sun and be around his friends and stuff. But nobody was trying to leave my son out the house. It's like they keep on trying to hold my son back. They're using my son as collateral to keep me trapped in this matrix. Can't stand it. But let me not manifest that. There's still today. The full moon portal's still open. That's why I'm trying to go take him to go be with his friends. But that's what I saw yesterday. Now, as far as the path is concerned, the only thing I'm afraid of is that my path doesn't include my son. Or like if I make the wrong move now, then I won't be able to, I could potentially mess up me and my son's relationship. He might think I'll choose something else over him. But I know I'm manifesting from my mind. So it's like, what I've seen is no matter how far behind I fell in my journey, when the time is right, everything activates and aligns again. I'm sorry I'm eating, y'all. But yeah, everything aligns again. Even when I think like, oh, I'm late. Like for instance, my album, I was supposed to release it on 888, right? But the name of the album ends up being 888. I thought I was late. That's the name of the album. But it's not releasing until the 13th because of time and editing issues on the album and stuff. Like, really simple stuff. But it's going to be released on the 13th. So, certain stuff is just meant for us to just, like, get past. Like, for instance, the dude that I wanted to talk to, I could have sworn he was always in the light. But then I had a dream that if he talked to me, he's going to end up in the dark. So I was like, I kind of left him alone because I didn't want that to happen to him. But he just keep popping back up somehow, some way. His zodiac sign keep popping up. It's just like, is he going to come to the dark side and come save me? I remember there was a point in time when he was like standing on the wall and I was in the dark and I fell through the floor. And he was just looking at me. He ain't helped me back up. So it's like being spiritually gifted sometimes is a blessing because you be knowing stuff before you need to know stuff, but then also you be knowing stuff before you need to know stuff. So it's not a blessing. Yeah, he didn't help. I was falling through the floor. He didn't help me. Left and right path, you can't go both. You got to decide which one. I know, but I'm trying to figure out which path includes the most people that I actually love. Like, I love my family, but the way that they do me every day is dirty as dirt. Like the family's like, you're not gonna get married. You're not supposed to have no husband. I'm like, oh, so basically, if I go to path with y'all, I ain't gonna have no husband. I ain't gonna get married and be bored for the rest of my life. But if I go to path with a husband, I might lose my son and my family. This line been coming in strong lately. My vision has expanded. Okay. People say I'm bad because I like isolation. Oh, excuse me, y'all. Sorry. How come you're not with your baby father? Because he's in prison. He chose to be with another family. He had another baby with someone else. And he chose to be in another family before COVID. And then when I moved into my house, he was like, yeah, what, you about to move to your empty ass apartment? He was really rude to me. The day before he got locked, like the day he came to my apartment, he was just, with your empty apartment? I said, empty? Ain't nothing in my apartment empty. What the hell are you talking about? And then like my son went outside to go play with some of the kids. And I could see how they was treating him. I was like, oh shit. I had to yell out the window like, what the hell is going on out here? And then like, he was sitting in the house in my son's beanbag. He wasn't really helping me move furniture and stuff in the house until I had to go ask him. And he finally did help me move. I'm like, oh, look at the mirror that I bought back when I was with you. It cracked. I don't have no mirror no more. He said, yeah, I guess some things just meant to fall apart. Like, he just kept on saying, like, yeah, this shit is over with. Like, yeah. I was like, oh, okay. The connection broken then. You right. You absolutely right. I'm not going to fight you on that one. If that's what you want to keep telling me over and over again. You want to keep putting that in my head and being rude about it. Cool. It's over then. And he took my son that day to go bowling with him and his family. But then after that, I got drunk. I had a whole bottle of wine and I didn't answer the door. He called my phone like 100 times and was banging on my door. But I had smoked earlier that day. I was smoking because I had bought, like, I think I bought 2 eighths. Like I bought an eighth of some Bubba and an eighth of some like OG or something. So I'm just smoking back to back to back. And I start having this vision that all the apartment buildings are little like coffins. And then I have a vision that he was going to run inside my house with his friends and like kick down my door and like get me shot. And I kept seeing stuff. Like, it was making me get nervous because I kept seeing it. I had that dream at least 2 more times before I moved out of that apartment over the 5-year span of living there. The day after, that day after my birthday, Thanksgiving was on the 24th that year. He got locked up right before Thanksgiving. He got locked up the next day. Like, he left my apartment and got locked up. That's how God works. So it's like, as much as I would like to go back and be with him or save him or something like that, I don't think that we're meant to be together. Does that make sense? Because when we had the opportunity for him to like be like, okay, you finally got your own stuff, you know, I'm gonna date between you and my other baby mother, I'm gonna see, you know, and like be polite. He just acted like a fucking asshole. Came to my apartment and just treated it like, fuck you and your apartment, bitch. I don't really want you. I'm just over here. But if you give me that pussy, I'm gonna take it though. Cause he tried to like lean me over the couch and like kiss me, and I was like, wrapped my foot around his ankle and flipped him over the couch so fast and got on top of him like, what the fuck are you doing? And as soon as I relaxed, he tried to flip me on my back. He's like, yeah. I was like, no, I'm not. I started feeling that feeling. I was like, oh, I gotta get up. Yeah. Isn't your probation officer calling you or something? Talking about his baby mother at the time. And that was the last time I saw him. Yep. That was the last time I saw him. Yep, just one son. So you really got to do what your soul wants to do. You can't do what you want to do. You got to do what your soul is meant to do. Like, anyway. You're not allowed to do what you think you want to do. You have to do what your soul wants to do. And my soul doesn't really want to be around my family. Like, my soul wants my family to love right, but my soul knows my family has no intentions on loving me right. They just want to transfer energy and use me as a resource and plant me in places and allow people to touch certain parts of my body that I don't want to share with the world. Like, my family, I love them and they love me, but they survival of the fittest. They not thinking like, let's put our money together and buy our own land and then like be self-sufficient. They still like trying to be in this world and look like bosses, not realizing we got elite families that make more money than everybody in the whole world. We will never be on top unless somebody strikes a fucking $1 billion contract or some shit. We will never be on top. We got the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Kennedys, and the other 7 families. Right. It's like I'd rather be alone and be true to myself and true to my journey than to be up underneath my family and then pretend like we all cool. When I clearly know in my soul that like that's not what y'all's intentions is for me. Y'all don't want me to be anything like who y'all know I am. Why you don't see past money? I do see past money. I'm seeing it like this. Energetically, right? When it comes down to it energetically, whether one wants to believe it or not, there are people, excuse me, sorry, I keep burping. Money isn't happiness, but it's something you need to survive. It's not, because once you put your money together and you buy land and you buy what you need to do to sustain, you can rot there forever and go into spiritual consciousness. Like if the world blows up and then y'all sleep while it blow up and then y'all wake up the next morning like nothing ever happened and y'all already in heaven, everybody's together and we can grow our own food. So I'm thinking past money. I'm thinking like grow our own food, build our own houses because we got trees that we had to cut down to clear land. People who got their my stepfather already got like every single tool you could use to build stuff and cut wood and everything, and like the nail guns and the screw guns and everything else. He know how to do electrical wiring. All we need is the solar panels. So it's like literally just a matter of everybody putting their money together and just dipping off. But like my family's so concerned about looking like something or somebody. Like my mom got a Louis Vuitton purse. I'm like, how you got a Louis Vuitton purse? Like, don't get me wrong. If you work hard for something, get it. If it's beautiful, if it's cute. But it's like the celebrities that are marketing these things to us, they don't even pay for that shit. Not even off no country type shit. Like just off some. This is my house. It could be a nice house. I seen it where a family, they had their own farm, right? It was a white family. I was delivering DoorDash or Grubhub over there, and they had their own everything, and each part of the family lived in different houses. So I think there was like 4 houses on the plot altogether, right? And out of those 4 houses on the plot, all of them look different. Every single one of them looked different. And the beautiful thing about it was some of them had like glass doors. Other ones had like a blue door. One looked like a farm, but it was blue. One was all white. One was all brick. Everybody built their houses how they wanted to build them, and they had enough land between them and like yard space that they didn't have to see each other. But they were all family, and they lived on their land, and they was making money off of being farmers, and they're still connected to the world because somebody ordered fucking Grubhub for everybody. My world is built off of my family need to go ahead and get their mind right and buy some land. I keep suggesting it to them. We even took a road trip Whew, we drove to my brother's graduation, took a whole road trip down there. I'm like, people like, I don't know how people could want to live out here in this country like this. I'm like, because you ain't got to worry about nobody. Like, she's like, I need to be living by some neighbors, so if anything happened to me, they could find me. I'm like, why would you even think that somebody would have, like, no. Nothing's going to happen to you. Nothing's going to happen to you. Like, why would you even think like that? Every time I free myself up out of this disgusting little energy box that they got us in. Like, if you could see what I could see, you just start looking at people like, wow. I must have a small ass brain because I can't imagine leaving Los Angeles. No, you're just comfortable. And there's nothing wrong with that either. Like, if you comfortable where you at, there's nothing wrong with that. Hello, pretty lady. Hi, Anthony. What is that? The Midwest. Midwest is like Colorado, stuff like that. Arizona. Ugh. Ugh. Oh, shit. Just taking my parasite detox capsules. Got to keep those bowels regular. Like, for me, instance, for me, I prefer my family to just purchase some land, build their houses, and just duck off somewhere. They prefer to live in these expensive ass neighborhoods, show off for their neighbors, and then tell us that we ungrateful because we don't want to sit there and help them pay bills or live in a house with them under their rules, which they don't even like their own rules. Because if your rules require me, your offspring, to only be a battery to your life and never to really supercharge my own life, well then, what's the point? What are we, a weeping willow tree? That's what our family tree looks like, a weeping willow? Like, you don't want the trees to go up and grow towards the sun. You want the tree to start hanging down and come back down to the ground and just start to sag. That's sad. Do your research, sister. I do. I quantumly believe that my family can make a shift, and if they can't, then they have to just get left behind for me because I can't do it. But they got my son wrapped up in their web. So again, for me, I would wholeheartedly love and appreciate being able to have, like I said, a house, some land, and growing my own food, minding my own business, just chilling out. Like, my family forced me into this space where I had to be so desperate that I had to ask society for a job. But I had been a self-employed worker since COVID. I saved my money. I worked hard to be that. My family was like, come back home. You getting too independent. They'll let me take my son out, but as soon as my son get outside and he outside and we feeling good, we back to our old vibe, how we used to be. My mom called, where you at? Are you in the basement? Where are you? Yeah, because those dogs is getting out. And then next thing you know, I would start feeling like energy like hit me upside my head. Like, oh, now that she could, whenever she could locate wherever he's at, he says, I'm with my mom. Next thing you know, you need to, you took those dogs out. And like, I would just feel like this projection of like something hit me upside my head. I'm like, what the fuck? Like this last past full moon, we was about to lock in and be back to our old neighborhood, our old energy. Leave it to her. Like, I start feeling like something was binded on my forehead or on top of my head. I'm like, what the hell is this? I start to realize like my brain was being stacked up on the bottom of my family. Like everybody else's brain was thought as more valuable than mine. And like to the point, y'all gonna think I'm crazy, but I have the ability to like communicate with animals. So the dog is like looking at me, and I said, "What's up?" It's this other dog, one of the newer dogs. What's up, Milo? I said, I felt him barking. When I felt him bark, I felt something on my forehead. I said, what you want me to be like you, huh? You want me to be like you? He's like, all right. I said, what you want me to wear your face? He said, rah. I said, I ain't wearing your damn face. He said, ah! I'm like, I'm not about to wear your ugly ass face, Milo. Ah! I'm like, I don't want to be like you. Rah, 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 rah. I'm like, why you want me to wear your face? So I gotta wear your face. Ah! I said, no, I'm not doing that. Rah! And he just walked off. Right? I just understand energy. Like I can feel the energy. And based on how his vibration and his bark comes back, I know what he means. Right? No, I think I see a lot more than people give me credit for sure. I just act like I don't, just to see how far people will take it. But I can see my family. Yeah. I can see most of y'all too. I just don't care to look. I'm just here to talk right now. I can see my ex staring at me right now. I can see everything. I just choose to like kind of just not see everything. Points. But let's get into some tarot right quick. No limitation to my eyes. I see everything, everybody. Especially at night. Oh my God, at night when I be seeing in black and white, child, the people eyeballs to be staring at me. Like I said, I've been spiritually gifted since I was a baby. I've been seeing. But the thing about being a seer and having parents, one thing about your gifts is whoever you're around can like use your gifts instead of their own. And they'll start believing that their gifts are your gifts and vice versa. Did you see how your title spurs doubt, not love? Are you truly healing or masking? It's time to do what you want, what your soul wants to do. I don't see how that spreads doubt. Can you explain to us, please, Cyber J? Unfortunately, I see too much. But I try to act like I don't, like I said. I mean, your name is Cyber J. I don't know what you do. Because some people believe that spiritual healing does go towards the digital. Because like Future and them said, I did the digital dash. I put that bitch on the number. You know, some people go digital, other people just go energetic, spiritual. But I think it's the same principle. It's just a different perspective. What makes you feel unsure about your healing so far? If you know that you're healing, what makes you feel like you're not healing now? I only got one good eye. Why do you think you only got one good eye? Anyway, ooh, I could feel y'all heat coming through. Look at that. For real, I need glasses bad as fuck. I can see you. You do need glasses. Ooh, child. First card out is the Eight of Pentacles. So some hard work is about to go into something. Massive amounts of hard work is going to go into something. We got the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords. Fastest knight in the deck. Dialectic. So some kind of hard work and very smart. Like somebody's going to do some really hard work, but they got to be really smart about it. Which is going to cause a tower for someone. A tower is a moment that is pretty much going to be like everything shakes and breaks down. So some hard work that a Knight of Swords is doing is going to cause a tower in somebody's life. Got the Queen of Swords on the bottom of the deck. World card is whatever is going to happen, it's going to come out in somebody's favor. I just seen all the queens. Okay, someone's trying to get through a portal. Again, someone's trying to get to this portal, this full moon portal right now. Someone's trying to get through it, and people are holding them back. Trying to tell you, boy, you be having that success portal open right there for you. Gotta catch that moment and just own it. I just made it through the hole. Oh, I've been through that hole already. I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about a different one. Once you start jumping through portals, you just be like, bruh, okay, which portal are we in next? Like, it's not what y'all think it is. Once you jump through a spiritual awakening, you just keep having them. You just be like, oh, I'm still here, right? Okay. We got the Four of Wands, so some kind of peace. Somebody's trying to bring peace to a situation and harmony. A Queen of Cups. Oh no, I teleported out of this dimension and like I became a white lady, but my eyes was red. I was like, oh fuck no, and I got scared and I screamed and I looked in the mirror and then I woke up. And when I woke up, I felt like I was in my body, but my body was stuck to the pillow. But then I looked at my hand, it felt like the particles of my hand was taking forever to come back. It's like I had literally like teleported, like my body became mush and was able to like go through time and space. And then I came back. And I had to sit there for a minute and let my body regenerate itself and come back to its full self before I could get up out of my bed. I'm going to work today. Shut up. I can't stand y'all. You get a job and get off my page. Get you some business. Strong ain't the word for it. Just stay vigilant. You know? I'll see you around as well. Hot one. I feel you. All right, all these cards just fell out, so I'm gonna just take them in this order. So Queen of Swords is trying to offer a dirty cup. Nine of Cups. The Queen of Cups and the Queen of Swords, my sisters, trying to offer a dirty cup. The ancestors are protecting you, however, though. This cup involves poverty, but it's to get you with some kind of lover who's going to keep you in poverty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this poverty is going to have you in some kind of love, like this love spell is going to keep you in poverty or something like that. They want you to go to your ancestors and consult with your ancestors first. There's a Chariot, and it's all about this King of Pentacles. Right, they want you with the King of Pentacles. They want me back with my ex. They like, get back with him. He was the, yeah, because he got that vibe that y'all all like. But no, the way that boy treated me, and I looked at the videos from 2 years ago, oh, hell no. Like, the shit that he was saying 2 years ago, stuff that he meant to say now. Like, no. You're being protected by someone or something. Someone's protecting you. Maybe the King of Pentacles is finding it necessary to protect you. My grandfather's the King of Pentacles too. He's a Taurus as well. So it could be a King of Pentacles in your family is protecting you from a King of Pentacles outside of your family. Take it however it resonates. You're getting more gifts from the ancestors. Some kind of magician capabilities. And Ten of Pentacles is going to be granted to you because it's your time. Should have sent them all back to Africa. Oh, my baby daddy? What days you off? Of course you want to know. I'm off on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. This is going to be... I'm sorry, y'all. We just changed vibrations by accident. That's how sensitive time and space is over here. You think about the wrong person, you end up on the wrong timeline, child. So let me get y'all the last 2 cards out of this spread so I can get y'all the rest of this spread. Okay. Bless it. Woo! Okay, I needed that so badly. All right, last 3 cards. Or last 5. So, it was a selenite wand, a crystal. So, here we have the 10 of Pentacles. The family's going to give you your abundance. That's going to be your justice, the justice card. It's going to be an inexhaustible force of energy, source of energy. It's going to be the King of Cups. My baby daddy's a King of Cups. Oof. And my ex before my last ex. It's going to bring you to celebrity status or mastery of a skill. But it's going to also be a 5 of Swords, backstabbing, betrayal. Someone's going to be watching the whole entire thing while it goes down. Somebody's going to go to jail, or someone is in jail and someone's going to be laid out flat on the ground. So each pathway comes with some sacrifices, like the person before said. Oh, my phone's about to die. All right, y'all. Here you are heard, seen, and loved. Remember to have peace, love, and hair grease and everything in between, because these are your tools in your body to help you manifest your dreams and let nobody take advantage of you. Last 3 cards. All eyes are watching you at this time. Sunshine, joy, enjoy it, but there will be heartbreak. So be prepared, because somebody's about to get got. So, yeah. I got to go because my phone's at 1% and I want to charge it before I go to work. Peace. I'll see y'all in a little bit.